I'm Q Coach Ariel, and I'm on the rooftop at the Qinetic Studios today, and I'm going to bring you through about a 15-minute stretch class. So there's 4 main components to health and fitness, and they're stability, strength, endurance, and flexibility. And unfortunately, the last one is usually kind of goes by the wayside. So I'm here to give you a couple of ideas to incorporate some great stretching into your workout. Make sure that you're warm when you start to stretch. So do a little bit of cardio or some weightlifting before, and then add some great stretches at the end of your workout, please. So just to warm up a little bit, we're gonna do a couple of squats. You're gonna be hip width apart, and you're just gonna go straight down and back up a couple times. I'm gonna be doing a lot of hip openers, so that's great if you do a lot of sitting at a desk or sitting on your couch during the day. Hips get really tight. Your glute muscles and your hip flexors tend to get super tight if you sit for long periods. And so I'm gonna give you a couple of exercises that you can incorporate to help stretch that area out. Just a couple more. 3, 2, last one. Awesome. Then turn out a little bit, just kind of naturally. Do a nice plie, reach up to the ceiling and back down. I'm also going to do a couple inner thigh stretches. So we're working the inner thighs right here in plie position. So we're going to work them and then we're going to stretch them. A couple more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Okay, so the first stretch, be nice and wide, wider than your hips. Come on down, put those hands on your inner thighs. Push outward lightly. Use gravity. I don't want you to go past 90 degrees, please. Be careful of your knees, stay above 90 degrees. But really relax into the stretch and open those inner thighs. You can use your shoulders to push and twist to give yourself a little extra stretch. Open up those inner thighs. Breathe. Breath is so important during stretch. I'm gonna say that like 20 million times for the next 15 minutes, but it is. It allows your body to relax, and you can't stretch when you're tense. So relax. Last one. Come on down into a side lunge. So extend the left, bend the right, and you don't have to point or flex the foot over there. You can just kind of relax it, but try to open up the inner thighs. If you need, you can have the heel down and be a little lower and over on the weight on the extended leg. If it feels better to your body, stay up on the balls of the feet and open up this thigh. So this is a stretch for both the right and the left inner thigh, and just relax and open. Try it equally on both sides. Take your time, walk to the other side, extend the right, bend the left, open this thigh. Really use the elbow to lightly push open on your thigh. Continue to breathe. Told you I'd say it a lot. Nice. All right. So come on over and let's do some hip flexor stretches. So we put both knees down, extend the right forward, come to 90 degrees, and push into this hip flexor. So the hip flexor goes from the quad all the way up through the hips and attaches into the ab muscles. So if you've been doing a lot of ab work, or if you're doing a lot of squats, or if you've been sitting at your desk a lot, you really need to extend this hip flexor and allow it to relax. As it releases a little bit, bend the front knee a little more. Be careful of that back knee. Make sure that you have maybe a towel under there if you need it, or at least a rug, please. Switch other side. Take your time in between the stretches. Again, it's about relaxing and allowing the body to let go of any tension or any stiff muscles. So if you move fast in between the stretches, it kind of defeats that purpose. So really move, use your breath, and gently enter stretches and gently exit stretches, please. Breathing. Nice. Come out of it slow. So go back to the first knee. You'll have your right out. You're gonna stay parallel until you reach the floor. Both hands are gonna be inside of the leg. And then you can allow yourself, if you have the stretch, to come on down to your elbows. If you can tell, my knee does turn out slightly in order to allow my body to come down. So don't worry about maintaining the parallel leg on the stick on your right. Allow it to open. You should feel the stretch in the inner thigh on the right and in the gluteus maximus. Come up slowly, again, gently in and out of stretches, please. Switch to the other side. Left forward. Take your time. Gently put both hands between the feet and slowly down to the elbows if you can. If not, stay up here. You should be able to feel that stretch. If this is all you have, that's great. Relax in this position. I'm gonna go down to my elbows. This is a great hip opener. Relax as much as you can in this position. All right. So now coming up out of it, we're gonna go into what's called Pigeon in yoga. So I'm taking my left leg and I'm gonna turn it into a 90 degrees. I am turning out and slowly trying to keep this parallel to the front, I lower myself towards the ground. This is opening this butt muscle like crazy. If you need to, you can support yourself with your hands, either in front of the shin or by your hips, whatever you need. If you're open like I am, you can come on down to your elbows. Relax. There are 3 major muscles in your glute and your butt muscle back here. All of them are equally important, and together they're one of the strong muscle groups in your body. They support the spine and the legs and your whole upper body. So they tend to get tight. They tend to hold on to tension. You need to relax them and stretch them. All right, switching, come out of it slow. Be careful of the ankle when you're going into Pigeon. It is a bit of an extreme position right there, so take your time into it. Use your hands and lower yourself gently. Again, try to keep this 90-degree angle of knee to foot. If you can, down to your elbows. Try to breathe normally. If you can, use your breath to let the muscles relax and get in deeper into the stretch. Ideally, you should hold each stretch about 30 seconds. I'm kind of moving a little bit faster than that just because I only have 15 minutes and I want to show you as many stretches as possible in that amount of time. But ideally, you should hold each position 30 seconds. Come out of it slow and switch. So I'm going to sit cross-legged and do one more butt stretch here. You can either stay cross-legged with the left in front, or if you're more flexible, you can take that ankle and put it above the knee, not directly on the knee, please, above the knee, and allow the upper knee to relax open. If this is the stretch for you, stay here, great. If you have the flexibility, try to pull up out of the pelvis and forward towards your elbows. So the idea is not to take the forehead to the knee or anything like that hunches you and it crunches your body. I think of my chest coming forward, a very long circle that extends all the way out, and my chest wants to be out here somewhere. That allows your body to elongate and relax. Switch. Take the other one on top. Or leave it in front cross-legged, either one's fine. Remember, ankle not directly on your knee joint. Protect your knees, please. Lift up and out of the hips, or stay there, and fold forward. So sometimes it helps to distract yourself when you're stretching, especially if the stretch is particularly intense. And so I tend to count backwards in my head from 30. 30, 29, 28, and what I find is about around 15, my body relaxes into it even more. So give that a shot. All right, coming up. So Let's take that right knee, place the foot on the floor, keep the other one where it was. Take your opposite arm, grab that knee and hug it to your chest, twist up and towards the leg. So the idea here is that you're stretching the butt back here and you're stretching the lower back and twisting the lower back. So this thing, you think up and twist, up and twist. Stretching shouldn't be static, it should always be fluid. I know sometimes that's hard to think of because you're holding a position for a while, but you want to continue the energy as much as you can. Use your breath to continue flowing through a stretch as much as you can. All right, switch other side. So I'm going to put my left on top. Left foot is flat on the ground. Right is parallel 90 degrees. I'm going to opposite arm's leg, hug that knee to my chest, twist up and away. I'm talking to the camera, so my head is out of alignment, but normally really try to keep a neutral spine. So however far twisted you are, keep that head neutral on the spine. It gets a better lower back stretch. All right, come out of it slow. So this one, you're going to line up the knees. So I'm adjusting my bottom leg over slightly, and you can do it two ways. You can either take the legs towards you, and so that they sit in this kind of an angle, or if you're flexible, try to keep a complete straight line of the shins on the front. Then, lifting up and out of the hips, come on forward. This is a very intense stretch. If you can't bend forward at all, don't worry about it. Really just try to release the hips in this position. Breathe. I'm telling myself that right now. This is a very intense stretch. Again, the more you can relax, the more you can lengthen, and the deeper you can get into the stretch. And up. Take your time, switch. Have my left on the bottom, right on top. I'm gonna line up the shins, if you can. If not, keep them at a bent angle, but protect your knees. Nice straight line. Lift up and forward. It's very natural for the body to have one side that is more flexible than the other, whether it's one muscle group or whether it's almost an entire leg or entire side of the body. If that's the case, that's totally normal. Just make sure that you spend a little extra time relaxing that side. Give it a little more love and care, and hopefully you can equal out your body as much as possible to avoid injury. All right, coming out of it. So we're now gonna do a nice wide second. So straighten both legs outside, whatever angle you can do. If you're here, that's okay. Try to think up and out of the hips as much as you possibly can to bend forward. I have a little bit more flexibility, so I'm gonna be a little wider, but I'm still thinking of pulling out of the hips as I go forward. Think of a flat back. So again, the idea that it's not forehead to the floor, but the longest back, chest is reaching super far out, projecting all the way over there when you stretch. Try to relax. This is an intense inner thigh stretch and a little bit of your lower back. So try to think of extending the lower back spine and releasing the inner thighs as much as you can. If you can go all the way to the ground. Although this is the roof in New York City, so I'm rethinking that idea right now. All right, come on up. Oh well, moving on. So a big wide stretch up and over towards the side. So I'm really thinking like almost a yawn, and I'm stretching over with that hand towards my toe. Again, you don't have to get to the toe to get the stretch. You really think of a long circle that maybe extends past the toe and relax that inner thigh. Lifting up and over the other side. Long reach towards the other toe. Really try to keep the chest open and to the front. So this is a different stretch. This stretch, when you're open and the shoulders are in line and parallel to the leg, is what we're going for here. It's a really intense inner thigh and hamstring stretch. And it is windy out here. All right, coming on up. So now you can actually face the leg. So I'm taking my shoulders and I'm twisting it towards the leg and folding down that way. So this is a different stretch. This should be a little bit deeper. There are several inserts of the hamstring into the hips. So I'm getting all of those little inserts by slightly changing the angle of the stretch. Again, try to breathe. Count backwards from 30 in your head. Enjoy the wind on your face. Okay, come on up. Switch to the other side. Again, shoulders facing the legs as much as you can, and go on forward. Really reach. That idea of keeping that chest super long and take that chest all the way out towards the toe. You can allow this hip to come up slightly. Don't lift it, but you allow it to come up gently as you fold forward. All right, very last stretch. So this is Happy Baby. Come on onto your back with your feet in the air. You're gonna grab the outsides of your feet right under the arches and pull them side so that you get a beautiful inner thigh stretch. So this is what it looks like. Bring those feet up, grab the outside, bend the legs, wide second. Allow the legs to naturally turn out, whatever your turnout position is. It's called Happy Baby because you see babies grab their feet like this and hang out. The idea is try to relax in this position and open up the thighs. And come out of it slow. Come on up. So I hope that gave you a couple of ideas of how to incorporate some new butt and open and hip opener stretches into your workout. Stretching is super important. It helps recovery time, it helps reduce injuries. So consider adding a couple to your workout. And if you have any questions, please contact me. You can make a message under the video right now, or you can find me on Qinetic.com and message me, or on my website, arielshepley.com. And enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Bye.